Hello, I'm Dave Karger. Welcome to TCM and this week's edition of Musical Matinee. Brace yourself because today's musical is truly one of a kind. It's a cult classic that blends disco rock music and 70s glam with biblical references and a dystopian sci-fi setting. From 1980, written and directed by Menahem Golan, it's The Apple. The story takes place in the distant future of 1994. It's a time when music rules the world, and the music industry is ruled by an evil leader named Mr. Boogaloo. As the story begins, a young innocent couple comes to the big city to perform in a music competition, but their act is broken up when the woman is tempted by the corrupt music mogul. That's how the film begins, but a simple plot synopsis doesn't do justice to what follows. The Apple is a nonstop parade of musical numbers and choreography, outrageous costumes, and even more outrageous plot twists. The idea originated as a stage musical written by Kobe and Iris Recht. They took the project to Israeli filmmaker Menahem Golan, and he thought it had potential. But rather than develop it for the stage, Golan saw it as a movie musical. He wrote the screenplay and assembled the cast. To star, Golan chose Catherine Mary Stewart, a dancer who showed up to an open audition and had never made a movie before. Her vocals were dubbed by another singer, Mary Hyland. The role of the evil Mr. Boogaloo went to Vladek Sheybal, who often played exotic types on screen, including the villainous grandmaster chess player in the 1963 James Bond movie From Russia with Love. Keep an eye out, too, for Miriam Margolyes in a supporting role as a landlady. Her career was still just getting started, and 14 years later, she would win a BAFTA for her supporting role in Martin Scorsese's adaptation of The Age of Innocence. She's also well known for playing Professor Sprout at Hogwarts in the Harry Potter movies. Settle in and prepare for a wild ride. From 1980, this is The Apple. The Apple was one of several eccentric disco musicals that hit theaters in 1980, along with Xanadu and Can't Stop the Music. But it was a box office flop when it premiered, and it was widely panned by the critics. For years, it was almost impossible to see the film, but that began to change when art house theaters began showing it at midnight screenings. A new generation of audiences discovered The Apple, and it developed a cult following. The initial response to The Apple was a disappointment for writer-director Menahem Golan, but he went on to find success later in the decade producing low-budget action movies under the banner of the Cannon Group, which he led with his cousin Yoram Globus. Some of their biggest hits were movies in the Death Wish franchise, starring Charles Bronson. Up next is a pair of Looney Tunes shorts featuring Daffy Duck in space, followed by a landmark sci-fi film from 1956.
Next on TCM, Forbidden Planet, then Bullet, and later, Edge of Darkness. TCM's got a bright idea today.